mindset.
Right out.
Blacks and Hispanics are the people of God.
That's right.
Keep God's commandments.
Hallelujah.
That's why we went into slavery.
Keep us down. That's why they keep pumping us with alcohol, drugs, all this crazy stuff.
Right, that is correct.
They like to see us all doped out.
That's their goal. That's their goal.
Our forefathers wrote the words down of God for their descendants to read the words of God in this time right now, because we were cut off from who we were, from who we are, from what we did, what we ate, how we dressed. We were cut off. Now you're getting it back, the breath of life. You cannot deny the breath of life. You must take heed to this Bible.
Shalom. This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. I want to start off by saying thank you to all of our Booster Club members for your many donations and much more, your prayers. We visited faraway countries and strange lands. We've even spoken to dignitaries and were detained for spreading the glorious gospel in Cuba. The truth is that the descendants of the 12 tribes of Israel were scattered throughout the world. Help us on our journey as we continue to raise up the nation of Israel. 12 tribes worldwide. Join or donate today. Shalom.
Right.
Read that part again.
The book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 3. Can two walk together except they be agreed?
No, they cannot. That is our problem. The Bible commands us to gather together, but we must all be on the same mindset.
Right.
We must all be on the same mindset.
Bring it out.
Blacks and Hispanics are the people of God.
That's right.
Keep God's commandments.
Hallelujah.
That is why we went into slavery. That is why. Matter of fact, give me 1 Kings 8, verse 43. Because when we start to keep God's laws, what's going to happen?
We're going to be blessed.
All right.
We're going to be blessed.
We're going to be blessed.
We're going to be back into our original form.
Exactly.
God,
And that's what they don't want us to do.
God
They
will
want to keep
begin.
us down. That's why they keep pumping us with alcohol, drugs, all this crazy stuff.
Right, that is correct.
They like to see us all doped out.
That's their goal.
That's their goal.
That's their goal. That's
all this stuff is planned.
But yo,
All
let me
this
show
is
you one
planned.
quick thing.
Homosexuality. A black man that came over here.
You know what I
with
want?
homo
Give me
stuff.
Ezekiel 37.
That's
You know,
them.
let me show you
That's their
something.
nature.
Let me show you something. You said
That's
that
their
they
nature.
want to see us destroyed and down and
They want
out.
us-
Right. Of course.
But they can
If I was
control us.
them, I would want to see my competitors, those that supposed to be ruling over me, I would want to see them down too.
That's why
That's a fact.
they like lies. Our
But-
people like to hear lies. Because if you was telling a lie, everybody this place would
Exactly.
But when you're telling the truth, that's why it's less of us over here.
Let me show you that what's going on right now is actually recorded in the Bible. You see us out here, young men teaching the Bible better than any pastor or preacher you ever heard. They collecting millions of dollars in our impoverished communities. They taking money from us while we struggling and giving us lies at the same time.
Right. But we the biggest.
You got it? You got what I want? Verse 16?
They know what they're doing.
No,
Hate this crap.
I want the... Read that, just read that.
Well, he's actually our
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 37, verse 16.
That's correct.
Moreover, thou son of man,
Listen good.
take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah and for the children of Israel, his companions.
So the tribe of Judah and his companions are the so-called blacks, the West Indians, and the Haitians,
12
right?
tribes.
Listen good, hold on, listen good.
And write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel, his companions.
So that goes into the Hispanics and Native Americans.
Right.
So you got the blacks, West Indians, and Haitians, and the Hispanics and Native Americans. Two different sticks. Listen good. It's symbolic. Listen.
And join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand.
Verse 10. Verse 10. So now, what is that showing us? That in the last days, we were going to reunite. The blacks and Hispanics will reunite as the Israelites.
That's right.
God's army. Listen, brother. Hold on. Listen, brother. Listen what the Bible says. Read.
Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 10.
I want y'all to hear this. This is what's going on right now. Read.
So I prophesied as he commanded me.
What do? We come out here and we teach the Bible. So I prophesied. That's the same thing. Listen good.
As he commanded me, and the breath came into them.
The breath of God is his laws. The breath of God entered into us.
Right.
That's why we're able to teach the Bible now. We were doing the same thing. We were out in the streets, smoking, partying, doing whatever the case may be besides this. But God's breath of life entered back into us. That's what we're trying to give you now.
Right.
Listen good.
The breath came into them, and they lived, and stood up upon their feet, an exceeding great army.
An exceeding great army.
Right.
The nation of Israel is an exceeding great army. What does army consist of? Does it consist of women and children? No. Of who? So whose job is it to get in order?
What, bro?
The men. The men must get in order. That's why we're speaking to you. That's why the Spirit of God is dealing with you right now. Okay? So now, Leviticus 21 verse 5. I'm going to give you these laws to help set you in order. The Bible has the laws that's going to set our men in order to take back control of our communities.
Right.
Once we do that, we can take control of our nation. Once we do that, the Son of God will return and set all these other nations in their proper order.
That's right.
What's that? That's our servants. Our servants. I'm going to show you. Read.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 21, verse 5.
Read.
They shall not make baldness upon their head.
Listen good. Read it again.
They shall not make baldness upon their head.
Us as Israelite men, some of us go bald naturally. But we shall not make baldness upon our heads.
Right.
Do not take a razor and shave it off. God gave us hair on our head for a reason. God has hair on his head.
Right.
God hair is like the pure wool.
Right.
We are made in the image of God. God do not have a body. What happened was when we were in slavery in Egypt, their customs were to shave all the hair off their body. Just like in America. The so-called Caucasians, some of them, they shave their beard, their hair off their head. We are not to follow them. We have our own customs.
Right.
Read that again.
They shall not make baldness upon their head.
Read.
Neither shall they shave off the corner of their beard.
What happened in slavery when we got off the ships?
They cut your hair off.
They cut your beard off and called you what? Boy. Now when your wife and your children see another man calling their father, their husband, a boy, do they gain more respect for you like that? They lose respect for you. So what does that mean? The beard is a badge of manly dignity.
That's right.
Our black men, our Hispanic men must regain their manly dignity. Because what's going on today, like you said, homosexuality, effeminate men walking around. That's what they want. If I'm of another nation, why would I want my competing nation to be more manlier, more in control than us? I want you at the bottom. I want you on drugs. I want your households out of order.
Right.
That's their plan. Now, give me 1 Corinthians 3:16. Is it first or second?
1 Corinthians.
You know what I want, right? Now, us knowing, like we spoke about earlier, who allows drugs to be sold and used in this community, in this country? If they can find Osama bin Laden in the bottom under the dirt, that means they can find everybody who's getting the drugs and selling the drugs, right?
Right. The drugs. the guns, all that stuff.
So what are you saying? The government. Are the government for us or against us?
Against us.
So if you know that, why would you go with their plan, with their
Because
agenda?
it's a psychological thing with the community.
You got what I want?
It's a psychological thing in the community where they want us to be against each other. When you read a scripture a few minutes back, that's what it is. They call it destroy, conquer and destroy.
Divide and conquer, right?
Divide and conquer.
Let me let you hear this.
Right, you read
Listen,
that.
yeah, in the book of Psalms, where they cut us off from being a nation, right?
Okay.
Listen good, listen good.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 3, verse 16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God?
So what does that mean?
We are the temple.
What does it mean? What does that mean?
The temple of God is in us. We are the Most High.
No, we're not the Most High.
We're not the Most High.
I'm gonna explain this to you. Hold on.
We are the temple because His Spirit is in us.
Right.
And guess what? If you go and they said, "He that destroyed the temple of the Most High, him shall I destroy."
So you know this.
Already.
So you know this, but you never knew that this book was written specifically to you, though.
Exactly.
You thought it was for everybody.
No, it was specifically for
It's
me.
only for the 12 tribes of Israel. This book is only,
For the
guess
12
what?
tribes of Israel.
Our forefathers wrote the words down of God for their descendants to read the words of God in this time right now. Because we were cut off from who we were, from who we are, from what we did, what we ate, how we dressed. We were cut off. Now you're getting it back, the breath of life. You cannot deny the breath of life.
Right.
You must take heed to this Bible.
Right.
Now, read that.
1 Corinthians, chapter 3, verse 16.
Read.
Know ye not that ye are the temple of God?
My brother, listen good. The blacks and Hispanic men are the temple of God.
That's the
Read
ass.
that.
And that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you?
The Spirit of God dwells in you. Meaning what? When you learn God's laws. And you now, read that.
1 Corinthians, chapter 3, verse 16.
Read.
Know ye not that ye are the temple of God?
My brother, listen good. The blacks and Hispanic men are the temple of God.
That's the
Read
ass.
that.
And that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you?
The Spirit of God dwells in you. Meaning what? When you learn God's laws and you start to apply God's laws, that's God's Spirit dwelling in you. Read.
Acts 17.
If any man defile the temple of God,
If you defile the temple of God, give me an example of defiling the temple of God. Give me an example.
Gambling, drugs,
Doing drugs.
alcohol.
Excessive alcohol.
Yeah, excessive alcohol.
Excessive alcohol. Homosexuality.
All that, yeah.
Let me give you another one.
Him,
Fornication. Not being married.
Yeah.
Black men and black women, Hispanic man and Hispanic woman must be married.
Right.
You cannot be boyfriend and girlfriend. You cannot be, oh, we friends with benefits. Because what happens? Another plot of our enemy. Let me tell you. Who fills the jail systems? Who?
Blacks and Hispanics.
Why? Why is it that our young men are being raised by the prison system?
I truly believe it's because they pump all this drugs and mothers are not being mothers.
Now, you know what?
I think it's Isaiah 42:22.
Isaiah 42 is a conspiracy.
Is that what I want? Let me see that.
It's a conspiracy. That's what it is. It's a conspiracy.
Listen good. Listen to this. The Bible is our book. Our forefathers wrote down the words of God.
Right.
Before we were enslaved, our forefathers wrote these words down for God.
Bring it out.
Listen.
the book of Isaiah, chapter 4, robbed and spoiled.
The blacks and Hispanics are a people that are robbed and spoiled.
Right.
Read.
They are all of them snared in holes.
We are all living in a system that is set up to trap us up. The system is set up for us to be destroyed, for us to fail.
Right.
That's what it's saying. We are all snared in prison houses. Name me a successful black or Hispanic man, and I'll show you how unsuccessful they are.
Right.
Name one. Oprah Winfrey. Let me explain this. She got a lot of money, right? But let me explain this to you. She is controlled by the people who's giving her the money.
Right.
She is an idol to our people. She is a puppet to the slave master.
Right.
She is not really successful, because if she was, she would first know her true nationality.
Right.
She would first know what is the solution to the problems of her people. She doesn't know that. Her mind is controlled by the slave master. That's why they gave her the money. They only give money to those that they can control.
Exactly.
Listen good.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
But this is a people robbed and spoiled.
Read.
They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses.
Our young men, the soldiers, the warriors of our nation,
They gotta lock us up.
they're trapped in prison houses.
gotta lock us up.
But why? Why? Because we are not taking this law serious.
Right.
Listen. Go to Hebrews 13 and 4. Hebrews 13 and 4. This law will save majority of our problems. This one law will save majority of our issues. You got it?
Yes, sir.
Read it.
Hebrews chapter 13, verse 4.
You black men must marry you black sisters. You black sisters must stop opening your legs for every Tom, Dick, and Harry.
Right,
You
right.
must value yourselves. You must get married and stop aborting our children.
Right.
Read.
Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled.
Whatever you want to do with your wife, as long as it's lawful, it's okay with God. Read.
But whoremongers,
But those that want to lay with woman to woman and not marry them,
Right.
they want to whore out our sisters and make our value as a nation be decreased. What?
and adulterers,
And those that get married and decide to sleep outside of their union, what?
God will judge.
God will judge.
Right.
Now, there's many ways that God is judging our community because this law is not being applied. You have abortion clinics. That is the #1 leading factor in the death of our nation.
Right.
Abortion clinics. Abortion clinics.
Right.
We also have child support. We have child support. A lot of our brothers are running and dodging child support. It's sad that we gotta even have another nation force us to take care of our own children, right? But we've been destroyed, so we understand, right? We also have STDs. Harlem, the Bronx, New York City is filled with STDs.
That's right.
Why? Because of fornication. Fornication, that judgment comes from God. Read that again.
Hebrews chapter 13, verse 4. Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled.
Hey, quick question, brother. Quick question. You right there. Brother. Brothers don't want to be on the spot. Marriage is not valued in our communities. We can see that. We see our women dressing improperly. They don't have any respect for themselves. They were not taught to have respect for themselves because there were no marriages.
Right.
Right. Sisters, let me ask you a question. Do you think our black women have respect for themselves?
Yes.
All right, so let me answer me this. Why do you think our women are portrayed in music videos and movies as thoughts, as strippers, video vixens? If we have such self-respect for ourselves, why is that the main image being portrayed for the world to see?
Right.
Aren't the black men making videos now?
I can't hear you.
Who are the rappers?
Say it again.
Are the rappers?
The rappers, right?
Yeah, black men. They're making
Black men, you are absolutely right. Listen to this law. We are going over the fact that the blacks and Hispanics today walking around as such are not really black and Hispanic. Their real nationality before slavery is Israelites.
Right.
We are the chosen nation of God.
That's right.
That's who we are. That's why we were enslaved, because we decided to break God's laws. Now, you said because of the black men, the rappers, that's what they have y'all do, right? Listen to this law and answer me if this law is being applied in our communities. Listen. Read Hebrews 13:4.
Hebrews chapter 13, verse 4.
Because a lot of our black women, they value themselves and how much they can look like a whore. How much attention can they attract from other men? No, listen, sister. It's true. No. I love my black sisters.
Do you?
I got black sisters. I have a black mother.
So do I.
All right. Listen to what I'm saying. The reason why I'm saying this is because, look, you see, who is the most famous black woman you know of today in the music industry?
Beyonce.
Beyonce?
Oh, I was gonna say Oprah. Oprah, yeah.
But she's not in the music industry though.
Oh, you said in the music
Yeah, the
industry?
music industry. You got
Megan.
Beyonce, one.
Yeah, Megan.
Wait. Beyonce's married, right?
Yeah.
Okay, who else you got?
Megan.
Megan.
Nikki.
Who?
Megan.
And who?
Nikki.
Megan and Nikki, right?
Yeah.
Now, I asked you about self-respect, right? You believe that these two examples you gave me show a respectable image of black women?
I think
Mind you, listen, we have black daughters up here, we have Hispanic daughters up here.
Right.
We have black mothers, black wives,
Right.
black sisters,
Right.
out here for our nation.
Right.
We're not disrespecting our people, we're trying to edify, right? So what I'm saying is this, as you see the image being portrayed, right? Do you feel that people outside of our nation sees Nicki Minaj half naked, sees Megan Thee Stallion half naked, rapping about sexual activities? Do you believe that these other nations look at that and say, oh my God,
Some guys rap
such an
about sexual
outstanding young
activities
woman?
too.
Huh?
Black men rap about sexual activities too.
I can't hear you.
Black men rap about sexual activities as well.
You're right.
No,
That
but
is
why is this
wrong.
all just on the
You're
women
right.
though?
No.
She think it's a man and a woman.
No. It's not about women. I'm speaking because it's our fault as men. I was just explaining to my brother right here, right? I was explaining that us as men, we have to come back to God's laws in order to raise up our daughters into wives again.
Right.
We have to make sure the black man marries the black woman. We can no longer have baby mamas, no longer have side chicks or girlfriends. Did you know girlfriends is a sin? Being a girlfriend is a sin.
Right.
Read this verse, read it. Listen.
Hebrews chapter 13, verse 4.
Read it out.
Marriage is honorable in all.
A man finding a woman and not just laying with her and leaving her alone. Finding her, getting to know her, then marrying her is honorable to God. That is an honorable thing. But today, that is not going on. You see a man, you see a woman. A man sees a woman. Oh, she looks nice. She got a nice body. She got long hair. Whatever the case may be. Oh, the woman sees the man. He's athletic. He has money. He has a nice car. Oh, he sounds nice. Oh, he's cute. And then what happens? They get together. They have sex. Maybe they might not speak to each other after that. Maybe they might become boyfriend and girlfriend. But that is our error as a people. That is the wrong thing to do.
Right.
That is not the right way to live.
Okay,
Read
so
it
you don't
again.
have the camera on.
Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled.
Right?
But whoremongers,
But men or women that just want to deal with people outside of marriage and what?
and adulterers,
And those that are married and decide to look over here and deal with somebody else outside of their marriage, what will happen?
God will judge.
AIDS,
Right.
STDs,
Right.
murder,
Right.
child support,
That's right.
abortion clinics.
Right.
God is behind that. Did you know that? Did you know God is behind life and death, good and evil?
Right.
Did you not know that?
Right.
Give me that, Deuteronomy 32. I have to reintroduce you, sisters, I have to reintroduce you to your God.
Right.
Your God is not a white man. God is a black man.
That's right.
You were made in the image of man because man, the first man, was made in the image of God.
That's right.
You must understand that. Come back to God's laws.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.